For decades, Iran and Israel have waged a shadowy conflict, spies, cyber attacks, and proxy wars across the Middle East. But now, the quiet chess match has exploded into open confrontation. Recent direct military strikes have shattered the old rules, raising fears of a wider war. Before 1979, Iran and Israel had ties. But after Iran's Islamic Revolution, hostility took root. Iran's leaders called Israel illegitimate, fueling decades of animosity. Israel, in turn, saw Iran as its most dangerous enemy. Both sides built up their militaries and alliances, preparing for a showdown. Iran developed missiles and drones. Israel, with U.S. backing, became a regional military powerhouse. This arms race created a fragile balance, now at risk of collapse. The recent escalation marks a turning point. Both sides are willing to take bigger risks. The shadow war is now a dangerous, open standoff. The region teeters on the edge of a conflict that could draw in many nations. The stakes have never been higher. The latest crisis began when an Israeli airstrike hit Iran's consulate in Damascus, killing top Iranian commanders. Iran saw this as a direct attack and responded with an unprecedented barrage, over 300 drones and missiles launched at Israel. Most were intercepted by Israel's air defenses, aided by the U.S. and allies. The attack was symbolic. Iran showed it could strike Israel directly. Israel then retaliated, targeting a military base near Isfahan, close to Iran's nuclear sites. Both sides sent clear messages but avoided all-out war. The shadow war is now out in the open, with direct military exchanges. Each side is calculating its next move, knowing a misstep could trigger catastrophe. The world watches anxiously, hoping for restraint. The risk of escalation has never been greater. Israel sees itself encircled by threats, with Iran at the center. Iran arms and funds groups like Hezbollah, Hamas, and militias in Syria and Iraq, forming a ring of fire around Israel. These proxies have thousands of rockets aimed at Israeli cities. Israel's greatest fear, a nuclear-armed Iran. Israeli leaders believe Iran's nuclear program is a cover for weapons, despite Tehran's denials. To prevent this, Israel has sabotaged nuclear sites and targeted Iranian scientists. Israeli strikes in Syria aim to stop weapons shipments and Iranian entrenchment. For Israel, these are acts of self-defense, preemptive moves to keep threats at bay. The trauma of past wars and the Holocaust shapes Israel's security-first mindset. Many Israelis see confrontation with Iran as a fight for survival. Iran sees itself surrounded by enemies, U.S. bases, Israeli power, and crippling sanctions. Tehran views its support for proxies as a defensive shield, deterring attacks and projecting power. By arming groups like Hezbollah, Iran creates a buffer, making any attack on Iran costly for its adversaries. Iran's leaders feel targeted and isolated, especially over their nuclear program. They point to Israel's undeclared nuclear arsenal and the double standard of international pressure. This fuels Iranian defiance and national pride. Iran insists its nuclear program is peaceful, but sees Western pressure as unjust. Revolutionary ideology, national pride, and security concerns drive Iran's actions. Tehran believes its missile program and alliances are vital for survival. For Iran, standing up to Israel and the West is a matter of sovereignty and resistance. The Iran-Israel conflict threatens the entire Middle East. Regional powers like Saudi Arabia and the UAE fear war could devastate their economies and spill across borders. The Strait of Hormuz, controlled by Iran, is a choke point for global oil. Any conflict could send prices soaring. The world economy is at risk. The U.S. backs Israel. Iran has ties to Russia and China. A wider war could draw in global powers, deepening divisions. The risk of miscalculation is high. Both Iran and Israel act out of deep security fears. The old rules are gone. The danger of full-scale war is real. Only careful diplomacy and restraint can prevent catastrophe. The world holds its breath as the region stands on a knife's edge.